Yahweh Shemel Shai. Yahweh Shemel Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills, was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. Now therefore hearken unto me, ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction, and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and his sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Shah. Bahashem Rakakwadash, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake of the believers and the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shah. All right. And what I want to get into with this lesson, dealing with no man shall buy you. All right. It's a waste of time, Jake. And I want to go into first in dealing with the curses. Now you have this Jake Justin Pearson, out of Memphis, and he's a politician. Now whether he's sincere or not, or whether he's just a grifter, okay, to prey on, destroy people, okay. Either way, it's a waste of time. All right, and the Lord put us in a position to where Yahweh Shah will be the only one that could deliver us. Okay, deliverance won't come from, amongst us as a people. It wouldn't be anyone, that will be born amongst us that would deliver us as a people. No, deliverance will have to come from the heavens. All right, from the right hand, all right, the throne of the Most High, which is Yahweh Shah. Okay, and the curses themselves, when you go here, let's get the curses, because you had time and time again, certain leaders, would arise, You know, some will be authentic. You know, someone will be plants. Okay, going back to CIA, FBI. You know, someone will be authentic and then get infiltrated COINTELPRO. You know, but at the end of the day, they will all come to naught. You know, everything that our people attempted to do, to better their situation will come to naught. You know, now Jake will get a law or two here. You know, the overall situation of our people. See how so-called rights and privileges in this society. Okay, but our people are more dark and satanic and self-destructive towards one another than ever. Okay, so even showing you that so-called civil rights and all these things was still all right a setback for our people. You see. Now, when you go to Deuteronomy 28:15, it says, "But this shall come to pass." All right, and this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. Read certain do's and don'ts. And the Lord goes into specifics, okay, of things that will happen to us if, all right, we didn't hold it. Moses was the mediator between Israel into the voice of the Lord, thy power to observe to do all his, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, man. So this was a punishment. Read 8. To some of these curses, okay, some of these have happened. Some of them happen, in different captivities that happen multiple times. You have some that stand firm today, to this very day. Okay. And when you go to Deuteronomy 28:29, it says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. No man shall save thee." Okay? So there's no man that will come up, that will arise out of the earth, that will be born. Okay? You had different play at the okay, a goddamn psyop, we know he was a federal operative, okay, and he was set up, to make Jake docile and, okay, forgive Esau for every goddamn thing and not know who their enemy was. Okay, really was a new world order doctrine. This one people when you really look at, what this nigga was speaking upon. Okay, but then they did a psyop where they killed that nigga to let anyone that wanted to try to be a leader know how this end. Okay. It was, sincere. I can never say for sure, but at the end of the day, all right, what did they do? I think they shot up Fred Hampton in his bed. Several times, man. They did it when they got. Okay, I think they got the movie about it with the guy that played in Get Out. The dark skinned Jake. Okay, pretty good movie on. I believe it's on Max. But at the end of the day, all right, Esau Edom, he understands who we are as a people, especially when you get to federal government level. especially the intelligence agency. They know exactly who we are, okay? And they make sure that the leaders that are amongst us are people that they fabricated, okay? Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all these guys. These guys were fabricated and given to you as leader, and they haven't did a goddamn thing, man. Okay, but teach you how to march, play the victim. Okay, nah, man, we in a position to where we're not meant to prosper in this society. Okay, this is our captivity. This is our punishment, man, for sin. And see, our people who won't even recognize, because 2/3 is not in them to recognize the source of the problem. Okay, so you have every now and then somebody pop up as if they got the weight, if they don't figure this thing out. Nah, man, we're under a spiritual punishment, and the only one that can lift it up is the one that put it on us, man, and that's Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, and He's gonna do that through Yahweh Shai, whom we preach this day, man. Okay, and it says, I'm gonna jump down, because you can disagree with the Bible, but has anyone raised up to save us out of this situation? No. Which lets you know that hey, this is true. This hasn't been unproven, and no man shall save thee. Has anyone raised up from amongst our people and saved us? No. Okay. So the Bible reigns supreme. You can argue all you want, but guess what? You're still subjugated to these curses, to this captivity. Esau Edom is still ruling, which the Bible said he will be the last heathen to rule. Okay, before the return of Yahushua. You see, so you can argue up and down with the scriptures, but guess what? They reign supreme. Okay, when you go here, because our people, complain, credit, can't get loans, can't get, the resources, this and that. What nigga, these the curses. We tell you the curses, man, that you can't undo them. Only Yahushua can do that. Now we in the curses, but we're comforted. We have a comforter in the midst of these curses, man, because we understand how this plays out, and we're seeing our power at work. You see, when you and your house shot, see, you're watching a different scoreboard. Okay, when you watching the nigga scoreboard, the score terrible, man. You see, and all niggas can do is complain and play the victim. But as we look at the lenses through your house shot, through clarity, through the light, through truth. Oh, it's like, nigga, we up. According to prophecy, we up. Esau losing. What he trying to do and what he trying to pull off in these last days, like, nah, this nigga losing, man. Okay? Mosai got this nigga set up for failure. Okay? And we're just getting started, and we got an eternal kingdom on the way. So we're just getting started. Man, we ain't lost no time. Okay? Deuteronomy 28:43 said, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And this is what, the circumstances our people in, and this explains it. Okay? You look at our people as a whole, this explains it. You see? So this man was meant to be the head, and our people try to imitate this man, try to get like this man, Nah, man, this man, he's in his blessing right now, but his blessing is short-lived, and we at the very end of it, man. And then going back to the gospel, the good news, Yahweh Shai. What did Yahweh Shai say? Let's get this in Matthew, and we'll come back. 19. Okay. It said, well, he should be the head, and we shall be the tail. Well, Yahweh Shai said, when you go here, now this is Peter asking, all right, what they're going to get for following Yahweh Shai. Matthew 19:27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Say unto the Son, throne shall sit up on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So Yahushua is speaking about a rulership. You see, our people, niggas have become, so small-minded, all right? They just want more perks within another man's kingdom instead of their own kingdom. They become so slave-minded. And this is what they cry and protest about is, there's more privilege in this man's kingdom. You can keep ruling, white man. Just give us a little, just take a little pressure off our neck. You can keep your boot on our neck. Just take a little pressure off of it. Nah, man. How Shah spoke of a kingdom who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. That's why when you get into the truth of the Bible, it reads completely different than Christianity, man. Because Christianity is just meant to keep you, all right, a forever slave. Okay? Christianity just taught you to be a forever slave. All right? When you go into the truth of the Bible, like, nah, man, our expectation goes beyond this world. That's a goddamn thing, man. We don't need him to teach us nothing. His validation, we don't need his approval. We don't need him to advise us or nothing. No, man. We know what's to come. Okay, we got a rulership, man. Thrones, that goes into a rulership. You see, it says that everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father, mother, and wife, children or lands for my name's sake. You see, so this truth is about a remnant following Yahushua. And even certain family, okay, certain relationships, you see, certain interests and certain, circles used to run around. We forsake those things and follow Yahushua. And that's another thing too. This ain't for everybody. These leaders, they come up and they want to save all black people. And then our people goes beyond black people. And then it's not a color, it's us being scattered. Our people look like all these other nations, but it's a spirit. Okay, in Israel, you see, you can try the spirit by the spirit. You see, because it goes beyond the color. Black, still hollering black, man. No, man, nobody's black. Okay, we're descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you have Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations due to us being scattered, but through their father's lineage, they go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. So this quest to try to save all black people is a complete waste of time, man. Okay, it's an absolute waste of time. You see? And it says, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive an hundredfold and shall inherit everlasting life, man. And see, we're talking about living forever. But first, we have to appreciate righteousness, man. The Lord not going to give everlasting life to some random straight nigga walking around, man. Okay? No. Everlasting life comes to those who thirst for righteousness now, man, who appreciate righteousness. And this captivity was meant for us to appreciate righteousness, man. Okay? Not that, just to be this never ending, these forever slaves, these forever entitled victims and crying about their situation. Nah, man. There comes a time to the Lord expects us to take accountability for what we did. We say that's one thing about the truth, man. We have to recognize what we did. We have to take account for what we did as a people, man. Okay, verse 30 said, but many that are first shall be last. Yeah, Esau the head, he's first, and the last shall be first. And this is the reversing of their curse in Deuteronomy 28 and 44. He shall be the head, but we shall be the tail. Well, Yahushua said, but many that are first shall be last, the head shall be the tail, and the last shall be first. The tail shall be the head. And Yahushua is going to do that. Okay? We don't need no black senator, man. Black senator don't do shit for us, man. Don't do a goddamn thing for us, man. Some goddamn black senator. Okay? Jake, that's played out. Okay? That's played the hell out, man. Okay? And you go here. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. And All right, let's go back here. Deuteronomy 28:45 said, moreover, all these curses shall be upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou beest destroyed. And you see, we're destroyed as a people, man. The minds of our people are destroyed. These curses have ran our people to the ground. And we was in the midst of this, man. Okay? But just in the nick of time, the Lord began to draw his elect from amongst the madness, and prepare us for salvation. Our baratas are we endure to the end. Okay, but you look at Jacob to destroy people. It's some people that's gone. They done. There's nothing you can do with them. You look out at Jake, there's nothing you can do with the majority of them, man. The Lord gonna have mercy on whom he gonna have mercy. All right. When you look at our people as a whole, as a collective, they're done. The man, woman, and child, they're dead. Thou hearkenest not to the voice of the Lord thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he, all right, commanded thee. Okay, and in verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed. Because a lot of us, when we first come into the truth, like, okay, we, the curses are like, oh, yeah, that's us. Ain't no doubt about it. Because the curses really paint a picture, and some of these curses are what? Prophecy, man. Things that will happen in future tense. You go to Deuteronomy 28:68 for sure. Going to the slave trade, is one of the things that, that persuade us in the faith. When we first come in, you look at the curses and you look at Jake, it's like you read the autobiography, man. Us as a people. Okay. Hold on. That's the wrong one. Okay, so you get this word, all right, upon thy seed forever. Yeah, sign, you get this word sign in the Hebrew, which is aha. All right, aha. What they sign. Okay, they distinguish us from all the nations of the earth, man, because there's no one, okay, that's under these curses like the nation of Israel, man. There's no one as a people, man. When you go through these curses and you look at our people current situation and you compare it to the rest of the world, well, it's a distinguishing mark. When you go, it says a banner, all right, a miraculous sign, and it says a token, a standard, a miracle, proof. These curses are proof of who we are, man. Okay, it's a distinguishing mark and this proof of who we are as a people, man. Okay, and like I say, Deuteronomy 28:68. All nations, man. We're the only nation that went through, okay, which is Egypt. Okay, there's only one nation that went through that, man. You see? And even during that same time, all right, you had the northern tribes being taken, okay, because from Africa to the Americas, and then you had northern tribes being taken from the Americas into Europe. Okay, but as a whole, when you go through these curses, man, they fit us to the T. All right, they fit us like a suit. You see? Now, I want to play this real quick. Show you this guy, Justin Peterson. And like I said, whether he's authentic or not, I don't know. Okay, whether he set up, another nigga set up. Okay, I don't know. Whether he here to grift Jake, because that's a big hustle on Jake to raise up like you this leader and grip Jake, you know. But at the end of the day, it's a waste of time. Whether it's authentic or whether he's set up, it's all a waste of time. Okay? And we have a savior, all right, in the heavens, okay, that's on deck coming to deliver. You see at the appointed time. And we'll see the sign showing that we're close to that appointed time. Now let's play this.
So if the Republican Party is going to be the party licking the boot of the billionaires who are taking our land, polluting our water, and taking our jobs, then let us be the party of the working class in rural, suburban, and urban America alike. If the Republican Party is going to be the party of AIR, the party of corporate handouts and blank checks for foreign wars, let us be the party to deliver an increase to the minimum wage. Let us be the party to deliver universal health care. Let us be the party to deliver a federal jobs guarantee so Americans can put food on their table and a roof over their head. Be passed by the United States Congress. If Republicans are going to be the party of big tech, big tobacco, giving tax, let us be the party of the nurse and the immigrant. The people who still hope, the people who still seek to make the American dream real in our lifetime.
That was Tennessee State Rep and Democratic Congressman Pearson.
Speech as minimum wage, like, bro, we way past that now. We way past some goddamn minimum wage, man. God damn. We passed that, man. Okay? Universal health care. Nah, man. It's time for a righteous kingdom to come to the earth, man. Okay? Instead, it's 2026 and niggas are still begging Esau for some type of fair shake. Okay? They still want an improvement in Babylon, man. The Lord's finna destroy America as a whole. Okay? Esau, Edom's finna go into captivity, man. Okay? And Jake goddamn wage, man. And he seemed like his mannerism seems like he just, okay, he just became this political celebrity. You know, it's more like he's just riding the wave, man. But nah, man. Okay? We finna get out of here, man. Let's go here. All right? Get some more priests. Jeremiah chapter 30. No, 31. And declare in the isles afar off, and say, he that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. So the same power that scattered us as a people, he's getting ready to gather us, man. And the gathering began with his word going forth. You know, because you have a remnant of our people being gathered by this word. Okay? All this universal health care and, you know, the working man, the nurse, and the nail tech, man. Come on, man. It's played out. Okay? They whole little it out. You see? Here it is. It's been, you know, Satanists, and you niggas are still thinking that you're going to get some justice in PD. Stop building data centers, man. Okay? They have a new world order, an attempt to bring in the whole new world order. They finna bring all type of crisis and chaos, man. Minimum wage ain't finna matter. Okay, but Jay got that slave mentality, man, begging Esau for more crumbs and ransom him in the hand. Okay, the Lord's getting ready to redeem his people, man. Through Yahushua. Yahushua was saved, all right, to be, Yahushua was raised up just to get delivered, man. He was born just to deliver. Okay, and it's plenty of prophecies on that, man. When you go here, okay. Matter of fact, let me get that in Deuteronomy. All right, let's go real quick. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. But this is a major part. Well, it's 64. You know, this goes into, but it was cursed for us to be scattered. Deuteronomy 28, 64 says, the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there shalt thou serve other gods. Fathers have known even wood and stone. And see, here it is, our people are caught up into Christianity, which is another God. Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. Okay? The Bible condemns this doctrine of Christianity, this universal, all right, this universal salvation. Okay, you know, this you know, the pagan holidays that are worshiping Christianity, these are all other gods, man. Okay, our people into Islam, or that's other gods. And that's a part of our captivity, that's a part of our punishment, we serving other gods. And our people are begging for some type of relief and some type of change. Why? The gods, man. Pay. Okay, but there's a remnant that's been called out of for deliverance. It says, and the Lord shall bring with ships. All right, it's that transatlantic slave trade, man, the middle passage. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And Egypt goes into what? Bondage. Okay, so the Lord will bring us back into bondage. Not in ancient Egypt, but it's new Egypt, America, man. Okay, and it says, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you. Okay, and you got vocab stupid as to say, well, y'all was broke, so they don't fulfill y'all. Okay, put them on boats, spend all that money shipping them across, okay, the Atlantic Ocean. And, okay, they're not all they're transaction of actually buying us. And all, okay, so when you go to the word buy in the Hebrew, what's that word? Is quanah. Okay, the word quanah, which goes into let's go here. Yep. Now, when you go to this, it says, of the Most High redeeming his people. Of the Most High originating, creating, and redeeming his people, man. One from the situation. We were sold as slaves. Okay, we was acquired. You know, we was bond men and bond women. There was insurance policies on us. We was, all right, part of the stock exchange. Okay, so we was brought and traded. Okay, all through this man's system, man. You see, but no one had us out this situation, which means to bring us out of captivity, man. And it's only Yahushua that's going to do that. And see, it starts with us being redeemed in the mind. Okay, we've been freed from the slave way of thinking. Okay, minimum wage ain't no goddamn win or victory or universal health care. It's not a victory, man. Okay, true victory is Yahushua coming back to conquer the earth and righteousness, man. That's victory, man. And that's why when you go 2, be certain. Okay, before we get Jeremiah, let's get that in Isaiah. Then we get that Jeremiah. You know, let's get this in Isaiah. Okay, 63. You know, this is true victory, man. Isaiah 63:1. Who is that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is speaking of who? Esau, man. You know, Basra, man, speaking of America. Okay, see, the Bible calls out the wickedness of Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Okay, and not in that spirit of begging this nigga for crumbs. No, we want the judgment that's written in the Bible. You see, what we desire aligns with the will of the Heavenly Father now, and that's why we're comforted by what's happening, because our desires line up with the will of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, and to see it happening, you know, is a comforting thing. Okay, it said this day is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Yeah, because the only thing Esau responds to is power. And we got a power that's far above any power in existence, man. Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Okay, Esau don't respond to niggas begging. He gonna put more pressure on you niggas, man. Okay? Esau don't respond to nobody begging. That nigga respond to power, man. That's what even these nations understand. Oh, we got to have some power to keep this nigga off you, man, because he don't deal with integrity, he don't deal with honor, he don't deal with righteousness. Okay, Esau only Esau move, nigga. If I can get away with it, nigga, is right. Nigga, if I can do it, what it's saying, he got might make right. Okay, so you Jakes, you know, that's why his main thing is to keep you Israelites separated from your power. You know, his whole thing is to keep you separated from your power, because you know you're powerless and he can have his way. You know, but there's a remnant that's been linked back to that power, man, and he done. You see, because this is going to be fulfilled. Isaiah 63:1 going to be fulfilled, because this Yahweh shot. That's who coming from Egypt. You know, of Isaiah saying like a, you know, with his garments, you know, dyed in the blood of his enemies, man. Okay, because Yahweh Shai is coming back for a slaughter, man. He's coming back, man. Okay, keep your goddamn minimum wage and universal health care, man. It says, wherefore art thou red and thine apparel? You know, so it's Yahweh Shai, all right, coming back from a slaughter, which he's not. This is symbolic. You know, this is ancient war talk. You know, you will leave, you know, let's say your town, you know, your city, go to war, then you come back, you know, your garments is drenched in blood like you've been treading the wine press, man. You know, you come back, you know, in triumph over the enemy. Verse 63, I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Yeah, so Yahweh Shai is coming to slaughter, man. And his anger, man. Yahweh Shai is coming back pissed. Heavenly Father is pissed, man. You know, playing these marching and playing, you know, civil rights game where Esau is over with, man. Play it out. Okay? Our power is going to make a real move. Okay? And remove this man from power forcefully, man. Okay? It said, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. Okay? You see, no man is going to redeem us. Yahweh Shai is going to avenge us and redeem us, man. Okay? He's like that redeemer kinsman, that brother that was able to buy you out of slavery, going back to the law. And Yahweh Shai is going to do that for all the remnant of Israel, man. The hopeful elect. You see? Now let's go into Jeremiah 23. Okay, we can end it here. There's so many. You know, the Bible is just full of precepts, okay, of our redemption. Yahweh Shai, what he's going to do, man. Jeremiah 23:5 said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. It will come. Already happened. You know, and he you know, to reconcile us back to the Father, a remnant back to the Father. All right, to establish a grace period, you know, to be able to send us the comfort of the understanding of this book in these last days. Okay, and ultimately for him to come and deliver, man. So our deliverer has already been born, all right, sacrificed, resurrected, and is now placed back at the right hand of the Father, man. Our deliverer is already certified, man. You know, that's why you know, and nobody's, you know, concerned about, you know, no behind a guy like that, man. Unless Esau push him. Okay, at least unless Esau push the machine behind him, man. Jake, everybody's just doing their own thing. Niggas just grifting, and, you know, what they call run clubs, you know, you know, that turns into freak offs. And it's all niggas, you know, niggas don't care about nothing, man, except the next second. Okay, it says that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and the king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth, man. And shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. And that's what Yahushua, he's coming to execute judgment and justice, man. Yahushua not coming to talk, to compromise, to negotiate. No, he's coming with power. Okay, and he's going to execute judgment and justice in the earth. And in his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness, man. You know, and there's a remnant from all tribes, man. The southern kingdom of Judah, okay, the northern kingdom of Israel, all 12 tribes. There's a remnant, there's an elect. All right, it's going to be changed, given new bodies on those chariots, man, you know, and come down out those chariots and rule the earth in righteousness, man. And we'll never go into captivity, and then we'll never be attacked by a nation. It would never, you know, nah, man. We're going to be good forever, man. You see? No more being conquered, man. Nah, all this gonna be over. We're gonna dwell in safety forever, man. And though under the umbrella of our power, and we're gonna be perfected. So we're gonna be in good standards with our power forever, man. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Okay, going back into what that first Exodus. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed, showing you the lineage of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land, man. Yeah, man, we're getting our own land. Okay, like I said, we're gonna have new bodies, man. We're gonna have rulership, we're gonna have power. Okay. But then and their ruling class mentality developed from being in the scriptures, from being in this truth, man. You know? Now, this is what we look forward to, man. When beginning with the hopeful elect, man, all our people gonna be good, man. Okay, we're not gonna have to beg our enemy, okay, for more crumbs in captivity. No, man, we're gonna be rulers, righteous rulers with Yahushua, and all our people gonna be good forever, man. You know, prosperous forever, man. Okay, a holy, a right seed, a noble seed, man. Highborn, man. You see? So that was the point. You know, I'll leave it there. You know, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you few sisters edified. Till next time, I'll say Shalom. Going Yashala, a Bible, Shalom.